and welcome to another edition of the Big Nick Energy Podcast, the happiest one yet. We've won 8 in a row, boys. I'm your host, the bald kid wonder, Joe Yoke. We got the mega mind, mastermind, Angie Pels, and last but certainly not least, the tallest teddy bear you'll ever meet, my fellow Mets fan, Frank, aka Trey Deuce. And we're doing 8 in a row with you, buddy. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. The best I felt as a Knicks fan or a Mets fan since 2012, 2013, and 2015, respectively.
Absolutely.
Ange, how you feeling today?
Happiest I've been in 8 years.
I like that. You had to think about it, though. I was kind of worried a little bit. You did just get back surgery still.
Yeah.
That checks out. For everyone that cares, we will announce the ticket giveaway winner at the end of this podcast, so stay tuned. Thank you for helping us get to over 100 subscribers on YouTube. Woo! Yeah, the 12-star celebration. Clap it up, boys. There we go. That's great audio right there. Make sure to like and subscribe and share Big Nick Energy on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. Follow Big Nick Energy and our personal pages on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Today's topics. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Is Tibbs coach of the year? Obviously, we'll talk about that. Is Julius Randle a lock for most improved player? Also, obviously, we're going to talk about that. Is it surprising how good the Knicks have been recently, going 5-0 without Alec Burks? How much does Ange love Norvel Pelle and the fact that we signed him for a longer-term deal? Also, who does Ange actually love more between Norvel Pelle and Nerlens Noel? We will find out later. And Ange's personal favorite for a topic that I would have never thought of or talked about in my life. Which two Knicks would beat the socks off of KP and Luka in a fight? Also, at the end, we're going to do a little Reddit fan base. Our awesome game show that we do, we're going to do it with you, Frank. It's called The Price is Wrong with Knicks memorabilia. And we're going to give you 4 things to guess, and you're going to try to guess the prices for them. But first, I have a conspiracy theory for you boys. You ready?
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes. And Vin's in the background in case anyone has noticed or not noticed yet. The conspiracy theory. Hey, yo. I think it's the Hawks' fault that Trae Young got hurt. Hear me out. Solomon Hill takes out Taj Gibson. Clint Capella takes out Nerlens Noel. Norvel Pelle doesn't play in the game without those two guys not playing. And then Norvel Pelle takes out Trae Young.
You think it's a butterfly effect?
I think it's the butterfly effect.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher was definitely there last night, too. No, imagine, though.
He probably was, man. I feel like Ashton
Kutchered.
Kutcher loves strip clubs, and strip clubs and ATL go hand in hand.
No,
you know?
real talk.
Joe,
Right. Let's not talk about injury.
tell me that game didn't give you some reminiscent. When Trae Young was hot during that first quarter, for some reason, the first thing I thought about was, remember that Stephen Curry game when he had like 50-something at the Garden? That was like Steph Curry's coming out party.
Yes.
That game? And we wound up winning that game.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I thought about right away when I seen Curry Trae Young put up like 16 in the first quarter. I was like, oh, fuck, this guy's going for 50 tonight at the Garden.
Yeah.
He was so hot. We couldn't stop him. I mean, we put Elfrid Payton on point guards, and then we expect good things out of that. So I don't really understand that still. But Trae Young, like, we've been holding him up for most of the year. Like, he gets his numbers, but the Hawks lose those games. Like, if Young's in that whole game, I honestly think we actually lose our winning streak.
I agree. He's too shifty. They tried to switch a couple of guys on him. The guy's going to get his points. He's too crafty, man. So he's a special guy. I mean, he's definitely not the better of the two, with Doncic and how they moved him or whatever. But, he's definitely a special guy.
Yeah, agreed entirely. I mean, the thing is, he's only 6 foot. He weighs like $160 soaking wet, maybe. But like that shot and that handle, I mean, if you're that small, like, yeah, you can get bullied, but you can also like go through screens and stuff that other people can't fight through.
Right.
Just so everyone knows, as at the time of us filming this, the New York Knickerbockers are currently 33-27, 6 games over 500. Frank having beautiful eyebrows over there. Owners of the 4 seed, and if the playoffs started today, we would be hosting a first round playoff series.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
I know.
We're
Finally,
a half
team
game
we go watch
for the first time in 8 years. Waiting a long time. Half game ahead of ATL. Own the tiebreaker over them now that we swept them in the year. 1 game over Boston with 1 game left to play against them. The winner will get that tiebreaker. And we're 1 and ahead of Miami for the 7th seed. And we do not own that tiebreaker. They swept us. So while we're riding high right now, boys, we're only 1.5 ahead of 7 seed and having to do that stupid play-in game. Who thought of this idea?
I
don't
mean,
know.
yo, can you fucking imagine being how many games are we behind Milwaukee? Let's even talk.
3.5.
That's fucking insane.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
any way you think it is, if there is nobody on planet Earth that we live on currently that would predict that we would be, what are we, 33?
33 and 27.
And they said we had a terrible second half schedule too, man, and we're burning through it, man.
I mean, nobody would have
Tearing it
predicted.
up.
Nobody would have predicted us being in this predicament. So, besides that, I mean, I didn't have no expectations this year, and that's the best thing for me personally, because every year for the past maybe 13 years, I tell myself the Knicks are going to be good. The Knicks are going to be good. And this is the year where I said, you know what? I'm not putting no expectations on it, and look what the fuck happened. So now I'm just going to ride this wave.
Going in blind and just coming out happy, it seems like the best way to be for any fan base.
Agreed.
I don't know how
Coming from a
Yankee
Jets
fans
fan
feel with it.
too. Jets and Mets fan. I had zero expectations every year. Prove it to me and I'll be there.
Deuce, you and me both, man. I mean, Sam Darnold was the savior, you know?
Yeah. So is Sanchez. So you know how that goes.
Sanchez at least made the AFC Championship game twice, even if it was
Yeah.
on accident.
Yeah.
So, guys, you ready for your first topic? It's going to be, is there any way that Tibbs is not the coach of the year at this point?
Do you mind if I go first?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Frank.
So me personally, I think the easiest, first off, I gotta say, I'm just gonna go with Tibbs. Took some notes down. The guy has absolutely turned us around. As far as obviously defensively, we are, opponents' points per game is like 104.7. We're number one in the league. Compared to last year, we were 23rd of 30 in the league. So like defensively, we have been lights out. It is not even close. What he's been able to do for Julius Randle and for the confidence of Reggie Bullock and
RJ Barrett's
yeah,
improvement this year. That 3-point
mean,
shot.
He has shown that he is on the way to be elite. I wouldn't say he's elite yet, but I think with his age and with his strength and how he's been able to not only the 3-point shot, but his free throw percentage has also gone up, which was something big for me because I think RJ can average 20 a game. And I think the biggest thing that was holding him back was his free throw percentage because he wasn't very good in the beginning of the year. But for coach of the year, I think it's going to have a lot to do with obviously if they make the playoffs, right, which they seem to be poised to with 12 games left.
Right. I don't think a coach of the year has ever not made the postseason.
Yeah, right. But I think it also has to do with the run. I think the most obvious coach to me personally is you have to kind of go with Steve Nash, right? Because he's like a rookie coach. Obviously, he has all the talent, but the talent's been hurt. And he's also been able to keep his win record pretty high. I think they have like 39 wins or something like that.
Right.
Another coach that I was looking at was Monty Williams of the Suns. The Suns are on fire.
That was my second choice. Is Monty.
Yeah, they were 34 and 39 last year. They're 42 and 16 this year. My sleeper coach of the year. I mean, he's not obviously not going to win it, but some guy that I've really been looking at what he's been doing is James Borrego for the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets last year were absolute trash. They were 23 and 42, and this year they're 28 and 29. And he really has that team playing really hard. But that's like my sneaky guy. He's obviously not going to win it, but they're trending in the right position or in the right trend. But Tibbs has hands down proven what a good coach can do to a young roster, and that defense absolutely needs to take precedence over everything. His biggest knock was he practices players a little bit too hard, but you know what? I'll take that, man. I'll take that. He's got these boys running, man.
Absolutely. Also, like supposedly they're doing a lockout or a blackout day today where it's like you can't even get to the gym. And IQ in the interview, the post-game press conference last night is like, I'm going to try to go in there anyway. Like dudes that are committed to their team, dudes that are committed to their coach. It's like, my coach doesn't want me to practice because he wants me to rest. I'm young. I want to get out there. I'm running through a wall with this dude.
I got a question for you guys. Who's the most likely to be the first one? Who do you think was most likely to be the first one at practice trying to get up shots this morning?
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle.
You think so?
Undoubtedly.
100%. 100%. He was there at like 6 a.m.
Undoubtedly.
So he don't want to spend the day with his wife?
Nah.
His wife
it's
might
time
be
to
at the
get
gym
it.
with him. Honestly, she might be watching, but he's at
Yo,
the gym.
New York, we're here. He said it, and he's not playing games. This guy has been absolutely astronomically phenomenal.
That even might even be an understatement. Like this
Yeah.
dude, like that goes into the second topic. I just want to make one other sleeper pick. Ange, did you have any other? Ange, what were your thoughts for Coach of the Year? Obviously, you think Tibbs, but any other people?
I just want to talk about the hiring of Tibbs. When we first hired him, I was okay with it. I liked him. I liked him obviously in Chicago, and I liked him in Minnesota. He brought both of those young teams. He brought them to another level. But I was a little skeptical, only because I like going young in terms of coaching nowadays for the most part. So obviously that didn't play out. Tibbs doing a phenomenal job, but it seems like nowadays the players, they just relate to younger people more, and they seem to get a lot out of those kinds of players. But, obviously Tibbs has exceeded all expectations. The defense is on another level. And it seems like every single year we've gotten a new coach, David Fizdale, Jeff Hornacek, Mike Miller, all these guys, all they do is say culture, 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 defense, defense, defense. It never fucking happens.
David
Right.
Fizdale giving a bad name to bald people everywhere.
Ugh.
For the first time in all these new
Hate
coaches,
him.
we have a guy that finally preaches, we got to build a new culture. We got to build a new foundation. He's actually fucking doing it. And
Yep.
to have the fucking set of balls to come to the Garden after the misery for the past 8 years, it takes a lot. And,
It
the
does.
numbers, the numbers are the numbers. I mean, we're leading the league in defensive field goal percentage. The defense is 44%. We're leading the league and opponents 3-point percentage, 33%. So all the numbers, the numbers never lie. So, I mean, I can never shit on Quinn Snyder as a coach of the year candidate. I mean, I know LeBron James doesn't pick the Utah Jazz in NBA Space Jam from back in the day, but that's okay. I think they're a good team, good franchise. And, but I think Tibbs is in a discussion. I think we have 12 games left. How many wins do we have? 33. If we get to 42, 43 wins,
I was gonna say 42.
he's gonna be right fucking there. And
Agreed.
That would be wild. That would mean they go 10-2 the last 12 games, and also, or like 9-3 the last 12 games, and also they play 6 on the road in the West.
if
Yeah.
you listen to these guys all year, Rose and Gibson specifically, they talk about how much they've seen Tibbs smiling over the years. So
Almost
this
never.
guy really enjoying the process of a group of young guys. We have a good mix of young and couple of vets. They're all in it for the same reason. They want to work hard, they want to put up shots, and they want to win basketball games. And that's all you could ask for.
You can't ask for anything else outside of wanting to win basketball games. I would say the one thing, like you mentioned it, you both mentioned it a little bit with the defense, but the one thing you can always make a team that supposedly doesn't have the same talent or skill level as like the Nets would or the Sixers would this year, or the Bucks, Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, any of them. If you make your team play that great of defense, that gritty of defense day in and day out, when people talk about the best teams and the best players, they're all offensive stars. They're all offensive players. Julius Randle is like top 2 for power forwards and defensive plus minus.
Is he?
That dude's never even been close to good on
Not
defense
even close.
before.
Right.
Not even a little bit. And that's why that goes into the second topic. Oh, last thing I forgot to mention. The one guy, sneaky guy that I wanted for Coach of the Year just to like get a little credit for. Nate McMillan, who we just went up against. When he took over for Lloyd Pierce, they were I wrote it down. They were 11th place at 15-20. And now they're 32-27. They're 17-7 with McMillan.
Yeah.
Who I mean, yeah, he's not going to win it. He didn't even coach the whole year, but to have your team go from 5 games under to 10 games under, or 5 games under without you to 10 games over with you as a coach, that's worth mentioning.
Yeah. Somebody to watch for next year as well.
Absolutely. Especially if, the Hawks look like they're going to be good for a while. Trae Young and Clint Capella look like a great combo.
Yeah.
And then to go into the second thing, the Randall part, the defensive plus minus, this most improved player of the year. This also, I know we're all Knicks fans. This has got to be a lock. Do you guys, I want you both to take a guess what Randall's odds are on DraftKings for most improved player of the year.
Right now,
His current odds, yeah.
5-1.
Okay. And Frank?
Oh man, I couldn't even tell you, man.
Angela,
couldn't
when you
even-
said 5-1, did you mean plus 500 or minus 500?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Greg, I
go.
guess?
I'm gonna go minus. I'm gonna go like minus. Like 250.
Minus
I-
250?
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna go around there.
270 minus 275. I would.
I'm gonna
say.
go minus 250 to minus 200.
He's minus 500 to win.
What?
Wow.
Well, I was right.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you said 5-1, it means plus 500, but I think you meant that he was the favorite, I would imagine.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
He's
so
not.
you nailed it. He's minus 500. The
Oh,
next
right,
closest
right. Wow.
dude is Jeremy Grant at plus 400.
Wow.
So the fact that they're
Yo, I'm
even
gonna do a
talking
live
about this-
correction. Live correction.
What, you're gonna look it up?
Odds at FanDuel, you said?
Yeah, DraftKings.
DraftKings. Julius Randle currently is sitting negative 200.
Well,
Jeremy
fuck
Grant
DraftKings.
is
How about that?
currently sitting 175. Michael Porter is plus 2,000. Christian Wood is plus 2,000.
That's insane. I literally looked that up right before this. They changed
Right
the odds
now.
20 minutes ago.
Just changed it.
They're lying to me.
Vegas is crazy, bro.
Those bastards.
Yes.
So shit. What I win? Give me a t-shirt.
You get to edit the podcast at the end. You should celebrate. So anyway, but either way, so he's the favorite by quite a bit because
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant's plus 175, not minus 175. So outside of including the numbers, so this dude, Julius Randle's teams, not including his first year when he broke his leg in the first game of his career, which also in hindsight, wow, that's
Right.
terrible.
I
for him to
remember
improve
watching. I
this
watched
much.
that game live. I remember that. That was
Who were they
wild.
playing in that game?
He was on the Lakers. I forgot who he was playing.
I
He
have no
broke his
idea.
tibia.
I remember just right away. This fucking guy just went out, and I was like, "Oh man, that looks
12
gnarly."
minutes.
Right?
What is
Yeah.
he was number 7, I think.
Number 7.
So the first 4 years outside of that, he went 17-65, 26-56, 35-47 with the Lakers. He went 33-49 with the Pelicans on a year that he went 21-10 average wise. And then
Right.
last year, the Knicks went 21-45. Last year was the first year he was a full-time starter. So to talk about most improved player, this man went from a full-time starter for 1 year on a team that won 21 games, to being the number one option, getting 40 points a game 3 times this year, getting 4
Amazing.
triple doubles, getting like 13 or 14 double doubles. This man orchestrates our whole offense better than Melo ever did.
I got to ask you all a
Oh,
question.
that-
What do you think switches in a guy to have a mediocre year to a possible All NBA team year?
Confidence.
An extended off season.
Putting all
Confident-
the work in the gym.
Confidence and the amount of looks.
Amount of looks helps out a lot, but I would say confidence definitely. I think the confidence was built because this dude literally just hired a trainer to get him through COVID. And this man was in the gym probably 6, 7 a.m.
And Tibbs
every day.
handed him the keys, and he said,
Angelo,
"You're our
didn't he
guy."
just pick up? Didn't he just start using that guy in New York? That's your guy. I forget his name.
Oh, he started using he started using not Drew Hanlon. He started using somebody from Dallas, somebody from his hometown, Tyler Ralph.
What do you know about Tyler Ralph? Because I don't know the
He
trainers
just,
like you do.
He's just a trainer. I mean, I think he's known him for a long time or something. He's just his trainer. I don't really know, but he built. He just I don't know if he built the home last summer over there or he had a home. He just all day long, 4 workouts a day, supposedly 3-4
And
workouts.
he works with that guy that Mello works with in New York too. He's there a lot.
He did some off-season training with Chris Brickley, not
Brickley.
this past summer, but he did it the first summer he joined the Knicks.
Oh,
Nice.
and we saw in this offseason, we saw Julius Randle working out with Mello.
That was the last off-season.
Was it last offseason? My
Yeah,
bad.
keep him away from Melo. We need him moving the ball. I love you, Melo, but we need him moving the ball.
Yeah, it's
Keep
funny
moving
that
that
you actually
rock.
say that because I was listening to another podcast the past couple of days. I think it was Zach Lowe. And they're like, for the nationwide podcast and nationwide people, you actually hear like different takes than being diehard fans, obviously. And he's literally like, all that I'm watching Julius do is like jab set, turn around, jumper on the baseline that no one else takes and it goes in. And it's like, how can you do that 5 times a game? And we're all Knicks fans and we're like, what do you mean? I see him do it every game now. It's like just normal.
Right. Right. And those faders, he's going baseline, man. This guy's fading out of bounds a little bit. Him
Yeah.
being lefty, it's
Yeah, did you
it's
notice how
disgusting.
many shots the Knicks are taking from the corner?
A lot. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the shortest three in the game.
Great.
Dude, we've been on fire from three. These past few games, we've been on absolute fire.
I love it.
Me too. It's
I've
amazing.
been waiting for this my whole life. I'm waiting
Me
for my
too.
favorite team to actually shoot 3-pointers.
I know. This guy Reggie Bullock they've really been giving him a lot of confidence. He is one of the RJ Barrett aside. Listen, RJ Barrett's 3-point percentage just skyrocketed. It's the amount of work these guys are putting in is so apparent on the court, and the amount of cohesion that they have as a team is so apparent. But the best thing about watching this team is about how much they actually trust each other. You see that no matter who, even what's his face? Why can't I think of his name right now? Our third guard, he starts for us.
Payton.
Yeah, Alfred Payton, originally from Orlando. So yeah, I mean, even him, he's not a 3-point shooter, but they're giving him looks at the 3-point line. This team is doing something that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. I mean, it is J.R. Smith from deep, step back, I don't care who's in my face, 3-pointer, the confidence, the big shots, the moments.
Yes.
It's like you're watching it and you know that this team is not stepping down. They're continuing to play, and it's a beautiful thing.
Seeing Bullock's quick trigger, does it not remind you guys a little bit of Steve Novak discount double check?
Yes.
Novak was a little bit taller, but Bullock's like a little bit quicker on the release, but like the shot looks really similar. And the result is almost the same. Which it goes in. That's what all that really matters,
Yeah.
honestly. I was gonna say, so I did write down the next best person. I said it before, Jeremy Grant, who, for what it's worth, I'm not going to discredit what Jeremy Grant's doing. He went from a third, fourth option when Porter was out there for Denver last year, averaging 12 points a game and 1.2 assists. His assists still aren't that good, but
Yeah.
this man's averaging 22.5 points a game, 3 assists, gets almost 2 stocks a game for a Detroit team that like he has no other option. His next best player was supposed to be Blake Griffin. Like, I mean, I just don't think you can ever give someone an award on a team that has their record's 18-41.
Yeah, no, you can't give it to him.
It's the same reason why I don't think Anthony Edwards should deserve the Rookie of the Year, no matter how good he looks in a couple of games. Like, one, this dude just jack shots. He gets an incredible amount of looks, but your team also has like less than 16 wins. You shouldn't be winning anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Randall, forget most improved, he's guaranteed. I mean, I don't even think there's a question at this point. We're about to start arguing in another week or so whether he's in the MVP conversation, which I think he's already in, to me. But as far as Randall all year, I mean, isn't it crazy that like, would you have imagined the jump in terms of progression from last year to this year? I mean, we were looking to trade him in the offseason. We were looking to trade Julius Randle in the offseason. I believe the plan was to draft Topping and then look for Julius Randle to get traded. I mean,
I cannot believe this dude doubled his assist total. That is unbelievable.
He doubled his assist total. He shot 27% from 3-point percentage last year. He's shooting 41%.
41%.
Free throw percentage went from 73 to 81. Assists went from 3 to 6. Points per game went from 19.5 to 23. But most importantly, what I truly believe in is that Frank said it before, Tibbs gave him the keys, and some, playing basketball all my life, some of the most important parts of my own game was making sure the coach had the trust in me, and he let me make some mistakes. So you could see Julius Randle's like, he's got Tibbs' full trust, and even when he don't got it going, he knows that there's other ways he could create offense. He knows how to make his players better at this point. And shout out to Kobe Bryant, because I don't know if you guys seen, but he's mentioned him this year many times about Kobe's work ethic and what it taught him. And, on the road, coming off the airplane, not going right to the hotel and eating McDonald's or whatever the fuck they eat nowadays.
Which, Ange, to your point before, I'm actually really surprised that you would be surprised that me and Frank both said that Julius would be the first one in the gym every day.
I mean, listen, they just played a lot of games. I was talking today specifically.
Who do you think it would have been today?
Quickly.
That's just because he said in the interview last night. I still think Randall beat him by a half hour.
And
I
you-
didn't even watch the interview. I just know after the games a lot he puts in the shots after the game. So.
and you know what's crazy about Randall too? His numbers have inflated, and this guy's really only taking 2.5, 3 more shots a game than last year. He shot 15.7, and this year he's doing 18.3 field goals attempts a game. So like the amount that this guy is scoring at, with these amount of shots, is ridiculous. It's it's the 3-point percentage alone is like, it's like you sold your soul or something in the, you know what I mean? It's like that good.
One more quick thing before we get on to the next topic. Does this little run that Randall is on, for me personally, it kind of reminds me of Amari Stoudemire's 30-point run for 8 games in a row. What is this? Does this time remind you guys of any specific Knicks time span? Because that's where I go to right away. Just the pure, just bucket getting, winning basketball games. Just you see the cities lit the fuck up. Everything.
I would say 2 different times in my life. And Frank, if you disagree, let me know.
Sure.
The first time was when I actually first started watching basketball, and the Knicks specifically, was when it was 98-99, the lockout season, and they got Sprewell mid-season, and then they just made that run as the 8th seed to the finals. And like, even though we were the underdog every series from like a home or away standpoint, it's like Latrell Sprewell was a game changer to get. That's one of the better mid-season trades in a long time. And then the other time would be Linsanity. Linsanity definitely was like where I had actually just broke my collarbone. I was literally just sitting on my couch with Valium. I literally couldn't do anything. And I'm just watching this little dude I never heard of light it up within Mike D'Antoni's
light
offense.
up the Kobe Lakers. Yeah.
Yes.
To be honest with you, the way I look at basketball, scoring is obviously something that drives the league. And yeah, you can make parallels to the scoring, but to me, I have never, as a Knicks fan, I've never experienced something that reaches the entire team and like the entire culture of the Knicks. Jeremy Lin was a flash in the pan. Yes, he was a fantastic basketball player who could, he had a decent career after he left the Knicks, after they ran him out. But I've never seen somebody come here, become the focal point of the team, carry the weight of the team on his shoulders, but not only do that, also distribute the ball and get his team involved at his position, at the efficiency that he's doing it. Sure, the scoring is reminiscent a la Latrell Sprewell, but I've never seen anybody do quite what he's done in such a short span and in such a sustainable way that's like literally flowing through the rest of the team.
To see a game in and game out, and like just watching him actually get into those double teams and drawing double teams within the flow of the offense that they actually draw up. Because clearly at this point, like Tibbs is like, you are going to draw doubles against certain guys.
And he's making the right reads.
And you know who's actually, so Ben actually just posted this, and it kind of like goes into the next topic, which was how are we sustaining all this without Alec Burks, who's our 4th leading scorer?
Right.
Is that the right reads end up a lot being Reggie Bullock at the 3-point line, just knowing where to go. A lot of those assists, I guarantee you, are Reggie Bullock for a 3, which
a lot.
Just so we have the numbers for everyone to know. Burks has been out since the LA game. Since the LA game, Bullock's played 40, 38, 37, 41, and 35 minutes, which are all higher than he usually does. And his point totals are 18, 16, 15, 11, and 15, all with at least 2, usually 3 to 4 threes made a game, which that's mostly, I would imagine, not Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock's being found, but Julius Randle and Derrick Rose finding him the ball in the right spot. So their offense is flowing in a great way, much better than I would have thought it would be.
I got a question for you guys. You think Bullock remains as the starter when Burks comes back? Because they're very similar players.
No, you have to. I'm also curious to see what the opposing guard against him is scoring as well. I don't know that number off the top of my head, but I think I think size wise and how everybody is meshing right now, I think you gotta keep just going with it.
Also, one thing that we all get caught up in is like the starters versus the starting versus bench. It's like the finishers is what's really
Right.
matters.
It's not who starts it, it's who
I'm
ends it.
essentially
dude
talking.
hasn't
I'm
taken
talking the
Alfred Payton
minutes.
out.
Essentially, I'm not so much talking the starting. I'm talking. Do you think Reggie Bullock remains with these minutes when Burks comes back?
I think he usually even still does it based on gameplay. It's like if there's like a scoring guard and like they don't like if they're up, I feel like Bullock's usually in the game more. If they're down, they put Burks in to try to make up the point spread.
Right.
Versus like if they have Bullock covering like the team's best ball handlers like a 3, like Bullock's usually out there. If it's a 1 or a 2, they usually have either Barrett or definitely not Quickly on him. Quickly isn't on him. Payne's not on him. I guess it's usually just Barrett or Bullock.
Yeah.
Burks doesn't usually cover the number 1 ball handler.
No.
Burks is more before Burks got hurt, he was our fourth quarter guy. He was the guy that was filling that scoring punch besides Randall. I mean, but he was running point. He was running point towards the fourth quarter most of the time. But now since he's been out, Quickly's filled that role. Derrick Rose has filled that role more. But I'm surprised at how I believe the scoring has even raised since Burks has been out, which is just have to do with just the team in general is just finally just coming.
It's a lot less ISO.
Yeah, coming all together in one, less ISO, just we're just rolling at the right time. And I really think Derrick Rose just I think we're underestimating that whole COVID thing. I really think that takes a lot more out of players than we think. Even Jason Tatum, he just came out and said he's doing an inhaler after COVID, and he just recently got his wind back. So, Derrick Rose, I don't know how many games and how many weeks he's been back now, but I think him getting more run in the games and whatever amount of practice time we have had, that has helped us immensely. But Alec Burks coming back, I think it's going to take him a few games too to come back. And, we only got 12 games left. I don't know how many games he's going to be out more.
You got to keep rolling with who
He should be back by, if it's this normal 10 days that they make everyone be out, he should be back by Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, he's been out how many games now? 4 or 5 games?
It's been out 5 games, which the last game he played was like last Monday, which is already 10 days.
Boys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You're right. That's it, Frank.
Agreed. Also, like we said, it's about finishing, not starting. If Elfrid Payton's still in the lineup, Reggie Bullock's definitely going to be in the lineup. And that dude's way better than Elfrid Payton is for us.
I mean, listen, Payton hasn't been playing as bad as he was at the beginning of the season, Joe. Elfrid Payton being a half decent basketball player for us, we're almost like at a championship contender level.
He's low key a run killer, guys. If you pay attention to Elfrid Payton's buckets, they're big buckets, man. They really are. These teams are going little baby runs, and he kills these runs. He'll get into
the only time he drives to the rim.
That's what I'm saying. He is a run killer.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm glad I'm the only one that picked that up. I literally thought, I was like, why does Elfrid Payton only actually makes the layups when the other team scored 6 in a row?
Yep.
If he gets open and they're like on a 4-0 run, he's not making it.
Nope.
It is the weirdest thing.
I would like to see him with a little more of a smile on the bench. That miserable face, I'm tired of seeing it.
Did you guys? That honestly was so funny last night when he actually missed the layup and then he committed the foul and then at the foul call he just walked off the court. He didn't even
miserable dude.
He is miserable. He's a miserable fuck.
I gotta take him out for a drink in the city or something.
Hey, misery loves company, man, and I know that dude's miserable, but that was so funny to me, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
What was the last thing I wanted to actually say before we actually oh no, I remember what I was gonna do. Angelo, are you ready for your favorite guy? It's Norvel Pelle, man. He got signed. We signed him for multiple years. How do you feel?
Joe, let me tell you something. The last time I've been this stoked about a signing was when we re-signed Melo for the max.
Yeah.
A multi-year deal for Pelle, man. You can't make it up. This is good news. Knicks Nation is on the rise. Norvel Pelle, 3 years, $125 million.
There's a dude that I used to work with at Power. He goes by Coop, and him and Norvell Pell have the same haircut. It's startling to watch, honestly. This dude looks
Shout
like a
out
foot
Coop.
taller Coop. Yeah.
Shout out Coop.
Oh my god. And Angelo, who do you actually love more, Norvell Pell or Nerlens Noel? I really got to know.
All right, come on, Joe. Now we're getting a little crazy. But listen,
Not as a player, just as a person.
I like Noel, though. He's got a good personality. Actually, yesterday was the first time I seen him do an interview. He did one with Ian Begley. And first time I got to see
Did he
him
drop the mic?
First time I seen him talk for like an extended amount of time. And he was just talking about how well aware he is of, getting posterized and being on the internet, which he doesn't want to be on, supposedly. But no, I like Noel. He's a good dude. As far as play, you watched Pell play some minutes last night, like his most extended minutes, as Noel was hurt for that time. He's just fucking a little slow. He can't off that pick and roll side to side, horizontally, even vertically. He just doesn't move so well. But protecting the rim, he's elite.
It was a great defensive move by taking out Young by the legs.
Yeah.
That's going to be the highlight of his career.
It's a savvy move.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think Nerlens Noel has been quietly one of the most valuable players that we have on this team. This guy is a huge unsung hero. Obviously, like in blocks, he's third in the league in blocks, right? He's tied with Clint Capella, 2.2, I think, a game. He is anchoring our defense. With Mitch Robb out, because I'm a big Mitch Robb guy, right?
Same.
I think he's like a baby deer on offense. Mitch Robb, he never sees the ball come in. If it's a little slip pass or something, but on the alley oop, the guys you can't beat him. But having Nerlens Noel on our team and just the absolute defensive presence that he has, and I love hearing that he said he doesn't want to get posterized, because it shows. He's not only is he contesting and not worried to contest. The guy's hitting the deck like 3 times a game, right? Every time this guy goes up and he falls on the floor, you think he's going to be out for the season.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and you're like, Jesus Christ, he's still ready to go. He went to the locker room, came back in. He's really been an unsung hero for this team. Shout out to Nerlens, man. Dude's a beast, man.
One thing I love about Nerlens Noel and our team as a whole is that whenever he does fall down, is that half of our bench literally runs over, picks him up, and then has him running on his way.
They got fans coming down from the stands picking him up. Everybody's coming to get this
for
guy.
sure. Mask on, mask off. They don't need it. They just need this man on the court.
Yeah.
Also, this dude, you're saying he's third in blocks, dude. He's been number 1 for like overall defensive, the defensive advanced stats for most of the year.
Really?
Yeah, he's been like number 1 for defensive plus like the advanced metrics for like the vast majority of the time, even when Robinson was playing. He's a monster.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy how we got him for 1 year at $5 million? We got him for $5 million.
So yeah, Nerlens Noel's defensive box plus minus is plus 3.3. The past 2 years before that, it's plus 3.4 and plus 3.3. The league average is supposed to be 0. So he's literally in first place right now. He's been like top 10 for most of the years that he actually gets decent playing time. Ange, I think the amount that he turned down was like 14, 15 million a year or something like that.
It was due to injury though, right?
Yeah, I think he got hurt shortly before or shortly afterwards, and then just like he lost the ability to make more money in free agency. Bringing up the fact that Noel is only signed for such a short, like cheap, contract. Between Noel and Burks, like I don't think we're gonna be able to keep both next year. Which would you guys rather keep?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, because we got the whole Mitch situation now too. I'm sure he's going to come back healthy, Mitch, but we might get him at a bargain as well. So I don't know. What about Taj Gibson now? Does he retire? Does he fall into play? Does that change things? But if I had to pick between the two, I don't know. Tibbs is a defense guy, man. I think he's going to go Noel, and I think you could try and find somebody, you could try and find a similar deal to as you got for Burks last year, this offseason as well.
Frank, who would you rather keep, Noel or Burks?
Oh, I'm keeping Noel. It's a no-brainer to me. I think you kind of got to the guy is such a difference maker. You can score the basket. Everyone can score the basket at the NBA level, but you know, this guy is defensively proving that he's a special player, and you know, premier rim blocking. And I don't know, man. I think you got to go Noel.
Still a young
Easily.
cat too. He's
He's young.
My hot take was you can move Mitchell now. He's proven to be injury prone.
but
We got a guy who can do what he's doing.
in the end, it seems like we're trying to get a bigger big man, meaning, you know, we were in the rumors with Drummond. We've seen the Karl Anthony Town rumors. I don't know how true they are. So even if we keep Mitch and we keep Noel, it seems like, or who the fuck knows if the rumors are true, they're trying to get another guy at that same position.
I think that's a huge mistake. I think getting somebody that's ball dominant at the center position is just gonna be a train.
I agree with you. I didn't like the whole. I'm not comparing. It's not really comparing the two because Tyson Chandler and Amari Stoudemire weren't. You know, they both weren't ball dominant. But I didn't like going after the like two out of the three of our stars were a 4 and a 5. I thought we could have went a different direction. That 3, 4, 5 star, that tandem, Melo, Stat, and Chandler, I just didn't work out. So I don't know if they're gonna go with that same route again.
In today's NBA, that wouldn't work at all. They would literally make Melo. They would make Stoudemire shoot the 3 way more.
That's what this is what you need in the NBA. You
3-pointers.
if you have a guy like Randall that can orchestrate the offense and make the right plays, all you need is shooters. The guy that I was, you know, in the beginning when they were talking about the rumors of who was going to come, who was going, when I heard Devin Booker, I was like, that's the guy. You go and get yourself a shooter, but not only a shooter that can catch and shoot, a guy that can create his own shot at a very high level. You know,
So not Alec Burks.
Listen, I like Alex Burks. I think what the thing about Alex Burks was when Derrick Rose went down and Alex Burks was really out there in the fourth quarter. One thing that I saw them doing a lot of, they were running a very high pick and roll isolation play with Alex Burks. Same thing that they did with Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
They would basically, he would come down the court, he would throw the ball to a wing, he would stay way above the 3-point line, he'd get the ball while he starts to move, and he would run downhill trying to break down the offense to either, you know, score or facilitate. I think that Derrick Rose obviously does that at a much higher level. I think Alex Burks is a better post player, if you will. I think Derrick Rose makes better decisions off of the dribble than Alex Burks does. I think they kind of put him in a role that they had Derrick Rose in, and they knew that they were successful with that kind of player, and they kind of tried to force him into it. But I don't think that
It was also while Quickly and Payton were both out. They had a time where he was running point for part.
They put him into a role where I feel like he did it. He just didn't do it at the level that we really needed him to. I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy's been huge in the fourth quarter, but I think with Derrick Rose back, they were talking about the stats last night. They're like 17 and something with Derrick Rose, like 17 and 9 or something like that. Derrick Rose and his ability to dribble, penetrate, and break down the defense is something that is pivotal to us winning these games.
Agreed. Derrick Rose is what got Reggie Bullock that open 3.
Mhm.
We lose the game.
No, that
That's
was
the case.
honorable stupidity.
I mean, it's also stupid that he left him even a half step, but
Hey, that's a CYO move. That's a CYO basketball stupidity move. My 9-year-old brother, and I don't even have a 9-year-old brother, wasn't going to make that decision, bro.
he can't make the decision. He does not exist.
Stop talking shit about our future point guard.
His 9-year-old
No,
non-existent
future
brother.
point guard is
Yeah, his 9-year-old brother.
It's
no,
Bronny.
He's Kyden Randall.
Oh, that's nice. That'd be a good time. 20 years from now. Guys, we're moving right along. I like where we're at. We're time for Angela's favorite topic of the night. Frank, I don't know. I think I sent this to you prior. I don't know why this is honestly on here, but here we go. We're going to talk about it anyway.
Okay.
Which 2 Knicks do you pick in a fight to beat up KP and Luke?
No. Let me do it, Joe. Let me do it. All right.
Yeah, let him go first.
Let let me listen. There's a two-part question. Okay. Who are you gonna choose to fight KP 101? Anybody on the Knicks? I know there's an obvious answer.
Anybody.
I'm picking Taj Gibson.
Gotta give me a real answer.
Give me Tom Thibodeau off table.
Ah!
No,
like-
Tibbs
I
is
like-
tiny. He's
I
gonna
like
Jeff Van
I like
Gundy him.
Taj. I like Taj Gibson. I feel like he can throw hands.
Taj, Joe, who you going with?
I said Taj. Yeah, I think Taj.
that.
I think Taj is the best
he's
fighter on the
scrappy.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Going
he's
Nerlens
scrappy.
Noel.
No, we're not
Nerlens
going.
Noel is scrawny, bro.
Yeah.
Height.
Going
I
Randall?
think
Nah, dude, Taj would beat Randall's ass.
What?
I guarantee you, Taj would whip Randall
Nah,
up and down.
protect Randall at all costs. I don't want that man nowhere near a fight.
Okay, all right. So everybody's got a different answer?
Nah, me and Trey both said
except
Taj.
Frank and Joe.
I like Taj.
Okay, so now let's add Doncic into the mix. So now it's Doncic and KP.
Tag
This-
team scenario.
I'm saying, hold on. Let me redo this. This is a bar fight. Okay, we're in the bar. So now we're adding KP. He's in the bar. He's in a fight. Let's just throw Taj Gibson in there.
I'm grabbing Derrick Rose then. Derrick Rose is from like a hard area.
We're gonna add Doncic to KP, and you can't add a big. You have to add a guard to fight KP. Who are you going with?
I'm going old Bulls. I got Derrick Rose and Taj just being old men beating up KP and Luca in a bar fight.
Frank, who you going with?
Something within me tells me Quickly has got sneaky hands. Man. I feel like Quickly's got the sneaky hands.
Look, he's getting tossed across the bar.
Nah.
Don't you see quickly just like throwing 3 jabs and they didn't even see what happens? And he does,
Yeah,
like, one
that's.
of these
I feel
things?
like he's got sneaky hands. That
You want
kid.
to hear my hot take? I think
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
Luca fucks up all of our guards in a fight.
I think Luca would actually beat up all of our guards in the fight too.
Nobody's
Honestly,
beating up Theo Pinson. That's all I'm telling you. Theo Pinson
what is this? The cheerleading contest?
a
Who has
fucking-
the biggest smile?
Yo, Theo Pinson, low key. I know about him. In the bar fights,
First off, Doncic is not beating RJ Barrett. That's not happening.
He's
I don't know,
not a
man.
guard.
Regardless,
It has to
guard or
be. I'm
not.
talking guards. Doncic is fucking up all of our guards in a bar fight.
Luca's a glorified
bro,
pa-
Vinny.
point
Dude, they're-
forward.
I
Stop it.
wouldn't even punch Luca. I
Dude,
let
there's something about some of those European countries, man. A lot of them like drink when they're like 12 and then just start fighting at a really young
Let's
age.
not forget Kristaps Porzingis got beat up in his own home country.
So I personally think that Theo Pinson wouldn't even punch Doncic. I think he just slapped the shit out of him. But that would be the end of the story. So I mean, I don't know. We would win the fight no matter what. Doesn't matter.
I mean, especially with Randall with the
Braided
the
Randall.
pusher T braids.
Yeah.
Fucking with him.
Ugh.
I
Yeah.
know which the only Dallas Maverick I'd be really scared of. Actually, there's 2. One is Jalen Brunson. I definitely feel like Jalen Brunson could actually fight. 2 is Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh,
That
so-
dude,
so
I
we're-
guarantee you, Tim Hardaway Jr. His dad was in the NBA. That dude definitely got fought all the time.
Solid beard on that
Oh,
guy.
so-
I feel like Tim
Yeah.
Hardaway Jr. Like you have to pull him off.
Okay, so there's one guy that's gonna beat up every Nick on the Mavericks, and you didn't name it, Joe. I'm gonna give you one more chance.
Who, Norman Powell?
Boban Marjanovic. Are we-
Oh my god, dude, he's doing the tall person like
You
little-
rang.
yeah,
He's gonna hold the guy's head. And
Yeah.
just start-
yeah.
No
He was
way.
just
Boban
crushing.
is too slow. He doesn't connect on any punch.
Dude, he doesn't need to connect. He needs to grab. He just grabs them and then their head explodes from the force.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that that's over, thank God. Frank, it's time for the game show. Dun dun dun.
Let's do it.
It's The Price is Wrong with Knicks memorabilia. This week we got Frank trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Reddit,
Mhm.
this is for you. Also, Reddit, you don't have a winner this week, no matter what Frank's guesses are. You were all so far off. And once you figure out the first one, you'll know why you all lost. So, Frank, do you have the pictures in front of you?
I do, yes.
Okay. So the first one, the Walt Frazier signed retired card from a brand I never heard of before. How much do you think this card is?
I'm gonna use part of what you said as a hint, and I'm gonna go with, I'll say like $50.
$50.
Well, I mean, once you said something like, "Oh, from a brand you never heard of," it made me kind of think like it
Yeah,
was.
really. No, stop giving out hints.
I
over
feel
here.
like I felt like it was a cheapie. If I was gonna go with like something that's real, I would have guessed like $300 to $500. But if I'm
Okay,
gonna,
so either way, you're way off. It is $8.39.
yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, that's why it didn't even matter. I could have said it was I'd signed it and it would be
Go
worth
me.
more, I think. RJ Barrett signed basketball. How much you got?
I'm gonna guess like $1.15.
115.
Yeah, I go.
You're way off. It's $471.
Really?
Yep. The next one, Bernard King signed basketball.
That's got to be like a G.
Nope. Pause. That's a Bernard King and Carmelo
Carmelo.
Anthony signature ball. It's a combo signed.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that part. I wasn't paying attention. So okay, so Bernard King and Carmelo Anthony signed basketball. Are you still sticking with the G?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'll probably go like $800.
Wait, before I tell you the price, you said by having Carmelo's signature on it, it would cost less than just having Bernard King.
No, I just kind of thought to myself like $1,000 is a lot of money for a basketball.
It is.
with one person's name on it alone, and I think two people is not gonna really. I just think that maybe like I would think like $500 to $800 in that wheelhouse. It would be somewhere around there.
We need one number, Frank.
I would probably go with. I'll go in the middle. I'll go like $600.
Oh, really close. It was $595, so 600. I would count that as like a winner. Nice.
Listen, I
Ding
got
ding ding.
a John Starks 94 one right here. And I don't even think it was 500.
I think you could probably get like 350 for that.
Yeah.
And then Frank, the last thing, our least favorite person ever. Phil Jackson signed the last season book. How much you got?
When did that book come out? We need to.
Does anyone know when the last season was written?
I don't think that changes the value of a Phil Jackson.
I'll
signature. He's alive.
Well,
I'll probably say like $100.
when
$100
is
bucks?
Yeah, I'll go $100.
Not too far off. It's 140.
Okay.
Also, the book was written in we're almost there. Waiting for the internet to load. Slow 2005.
what was he doing at that time?
Writing about how he won a bunch of championships thanks to Michael Jordan. Also winning championships with
Yeah, thanks to Shaq and Kobe.
with the Lakers thanks to Shaq and Kobe.
Best coach of all time with the best players of all time.
He's like, I taught them how to use an
Fucking guy.
offense that will literally never be used again and wasn't that good in the first place.
That's Vinny's Zen
Fucking
man.
guy.
He loves him.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
listen to Phil Jackson ASMR to go to bed. Leave me alone.
the guy that comes in, runs Melo out of town, drafts Frank Ntilikina, and then gets fired right away.
Yo,
Oh,
he did us a
God.
favor. Look at our team now. Stop
My
that.
guy.
I mean, what's weird is that we all love Frank Ntilikina for some reason.
I love
So,
Frank
yeah,
Ntilikina.
Same, but I don't know why.
I mean, can't teach defense.
And he's a
Like-
nice guy, most important.
Thibodeau will prove that
Sorry.
wrong. Clearly, you can.
You can teach defense. Yeah, I think
True.
Thibodeau actually does prove that wrong.
You're right.
Guys, so last thing real quick. The next 3 games to end the month. We're home against Toronto on Saturday, home against Phoenix on Monday, and then home against Chicago on Wednesday. And then we'll start the 6-game West Coast road trip. How do we go for the next 3 games?
Go ahead, Frankie.
No, I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first.
Joe, can you read me that back again?
Home against Toronto on Saturday, home against Phoenix on Monday, and then home against Chicago on Wednesday.
We're going for 11 in a row, boys.
That is fanhood at its finest. Frank, what do you got?
11 in a row.
I think we're gonna go. I think we go 2-1. We lose to Phoenix.
I agree with you. I honestly, there's like a little Angelo solely out of ego. There's like this much of me that wants us to lose to Chicago, just so I could be like Vucevic, baby.
You suck.
I
I'm done.
Joey
Oh,
thinks
okay.
we win one to Phoenix in the next 12.
I think we beat Phoenix 1 out of the 2 games. You guys think we get swept by them?
Are we playing them at home? What are we? Home and away or home and home?
Home and away. Yeah,
Hopefully,
home is on Saturday
hopefully we could win one out of the 2.
or Monday. I mean,
They're a tough team.
I don't know. I think we get swept by him personally.
Chris,
do, yeah.
you can't
If we're gonna lose to him at home, we're not beating him over there.
underestimate the value of Chris Paul, man.
No, but you can't underestimate the value of Norvell Pell being slow and then putting his foot under your foot.
Don't worry, he's gonna
Just
be
ask Trey Young.
Joe. He's gonna be in a Knick uniform for a long time.
At least a year, apparently. Deuce, how'd you like the podcast, man?
Oh, I loved it, man. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. I
Thank you
love
for
it.
being on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man, for sure.
Greatly appreciate it. Look at that smile, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Before we go, what do you got to plug?
Nothing. Just this
No
podcast.
Twitter, no Instagram?
Nah, Scotch LaRock. I mean, on Instagram, but that don't matter. Come and get this podcast. It's just full of people that actually care and actually know what they're talking about and actually really love the Knicks and don't do it for the clout. We just do it because we love the sport and we love the Knicks, man. I just appreciate it. Big Nick energy, baby. It's it, man.
Thank you for coming on. You're way more better looking than your brother. We're glad to have you on and Vinny as the producer anytime.
No doubt, man. Whenever you guys want me, I'm here, man.
If you want to start producing for us, we can get rid of Ben altogether. I'm down for that too, honestly.
I kind of like how he's like the ghost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go work with Max Kellerman and CP. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, hold on a sec. Time out. Speaking of which, Knicks Fan TV, what's good? Give us credit. We do hard work over
Oh,
here.
we worked it
Yeah,
out.
what
They
the
did the right
fuck?
thing. No, they did the right thing by us. Nick Fan TV, thank you. You did the right thing.
All
All right,
But-
the
Fan
score.
TV, thank
So
you.
the
Score.
score. We're coming at you
The
now.
score, we're
What's
talking
good?
directly to you. There's
We-
no way you don't see every, what is it, about 20, 30 comments? You see it.
We got a score to settle. Let me tell you.
Hey, bazinga. Come on, man. Don't take off that watermark. There's no fire out here. We just want to be all glory. We just want to be friends. Ange, let me see that bald head, man. And that's the end of the podcast before we let the winner of the ticket giveaway know who the winner is. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. The winner of the Knicks ticket giveaway. Thanks to you subscribing to us on YouTube and actually being public and or commenting is do. David Rosario, come on down. All right, David, comment on this podcast that you see this in, and then we'll Ben or Ange will get your info and we'll go from there, man. Congratulations. Ben, any words for the winner?
Congrats, pal. Everyone,
That's-
just remember, like, subscribe. We will be doing more of these when we get to 500 subscribers. Don't forget TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. All
iTunes,
of it.
Spotify, YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, and follow us.
Thank you. Congrats, David.
Let's go, Knicks. 9 in a row. Peace.